Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side.
Day we hustle, but the night we
Know that they ride or die. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side.
Day we hustle, but the night we
Boys by my side. Know that they ride or die. My name came up a lot, it sounds more when I was not around. Certain people that I know, they ain't no longer about. My name came up a lot, it sounds more when I was not around. Certain people that I know, they ain't cold. These brothers, my guys, know that they fly.
Hey, Zoe here from Gear Up, and we're here in Lion Park Resort. We are reviewing a car called the Ineos Grenadier, but we want to just hold it for a little bit so that we can show you the in-depth review of how tough this car is, why it was invented. I know it looks like a Land Rover Defender, but come see why I think it's better. This is an Ineos Grenadier, and it has a 3-liter straight-six BMW engine. I know, BMW, right? Which this one is a diesel that puts out approximately 249 horsepower and 500 newton meters of torque. That is a lot of torque, but if you want, you can get the petrol one, which gives about 285 horsepower and 450 newton meters of torque. Though, yes, it has a BMW engine and transmission, I think it's very much different from it, and these are my reasons why. Come take a look. So we've moved on to another type of vehicle. It's the same, but this one is just a test vehicle, just to talk about the exterior. This particular one has 264 milliliters of ground clearance, which is a lot, and it has an approach angle of 35.5, which, yes, it's less than the latest Land Rover Defender, but it's better than the old one. Since it was inspired by the old one, I'll forgive it. It has a departure angle of 36.1 also, which is 4 degrees less than the latest Land Rover Defender, but it's okay. Like I said, it was inspired by the previous one, so really we're not really here to compete with the other ones. So we're moving on. We're going to talk about the exterior more. Well, this one has the LED lights. The LED lights look similar to the old Defender, not just the shape. It looks like the old one. It's just that people who own the Land Defender, the old one, they usually tend to put the aftermarket LED lights. Yes, there are similarities, but there are more differences than similarities. Like on the old Land Rover Defender, it doesn't have this light over here. It doesn't have these lights over here. And I like the look of this. I like the look of it. I really love the look of it. And then we move on to the sides of the vehicle. We have it running on 17 inches of off-roading tires. They are pretty big, but I'm gonna be honest, I wouldn't go any higher than this because already they're already closer to the fenders. But yeah, on the side look, there's not like much to talk about because I don't think there was much they could really do if it was inspired by the old Land Rover Defender. The main thing would have been the shape, being the square shape. Is it square or rectangle? Box, yeah, the box shape. So because yes, this is a test vehicle, these are the brand names. You can go follow the Ineos Grenadier on Facebook, on YouTube, everything. And then down to the points, these are fixed points. So if you're a farmer, you know, you want to do anything, whether you're a farmer or it's just individual work, you want things unique, you can pinpoint on these fixed points. You can have, it has a power outlet, it's just hidden away this side. There's a power outlet on it, and then you can also tie your equipment on this if at all you do not have a roof rack, right? Because all the cars come standard with these points and this, but this is optional, by the way. This is optional, you can get that as an accessory. Speaking of accessories, let's move here, back again to the back side. You know, this is all standard. The wheel comes standard, the cover comes standard, but you can add these. This also is an optional to it. You know, you can climb up to your roof rack. Like I said, this is also optional too. And honestly, you can also fit a snorkel to it if you want to add to the weighting, because the weighting of this car is 800 millimeters, sorry. But you can actually add a snorkel to it, and to be honest, 800 is good enough, you know. 800 is good enough. So the one they have there is not necessarily for weighting. The snorkel they have is not for weighting. It's more for like the dust proof and, you know, the filtering, the intake and everything. So it does help, you know, for such a terrain. I mean, look around, it's quite dusty. So with that, it does help a lot, you know. Yeah. Now onto the axles. It uses a beam axle, you know. They move this way to keep a wheel on the ground, making sure there's a wheel on the ground, so for better articulation and wheel travel. So it does still have the old Land Rover Defender leather chassis. It's a leather frame chassis, so it's still quite tough. The difference between this one and the old Land Rover Defender in terms of the chassis is that this one has been rust proofed. So you don't have to worry about, you know, your metal going all bad. It's also made out of steel, so that's good, makes it more stronger and everything. So I'm quite impressed, you know. This is, yes, a modernized version of the Land Rover Defender, but it's not a Land Rover Defender. This is the Ineos Grenadier. Like I said, yes, this car has a BMW transmission and the engine and the infotainment system as well, but it's nothing like that. When you come into the interior, you feel this hard road, this off-roading tough car. Why? You have the handle here for when you're going tough off-road. You're literally hitting it at high speeds on gravel and stuff, so your passenger can hold on and not fall out of the car. And then you have glove compartments. So it's quite small, but I mean, there's a lot more spacious areas, so don't worry about the storage. You have so many other places to put your things. And then you come down here, the transmission, the gear selector is of BMW, the infotainment system is of BMW. These chairs are very comfortable, very comfortable. I don't know what kind of material this is. I can't tell if this is leather or something, because it feels a bit more different and it feels more suede like, but it's not necessarily suede. But they're very comfortable compared to other off-roaders. Usually when you buy some cars, you have to literally change the car seats because they're very uncomfortable. Then you come down to the slap dash. It's very slapped, more like the old Defender, you know. It's flat on the dashboard. You have your analog switches, which is actually good, because even in winter forms, you know, when you're wearing your gloves, it's cold outside and everything, you get in here, you can actually just switch everything. And yes, they are spaced out for a reason though. These things are spaced out specifically because they don't want a scenario where things are too close to each other. When you're driving now, you have to look down and kind of, you know, try to press one button after another, but then you end up pressing something else and it frustrates you while you're driving, which can cause some issues depending on what type of a character you are. And then you come down, while we're still on the switches, you come up here, you have more switches here, kind of like in an airplane, you know. And I feel like, because my dad is a pilot, this is home to him. This hits different. This is very unique. I asked even one of the professionals. This is basically because they didn't want everything piled over here, and it was better for the driver because now you know where everything is, spaced out. It's analog buttons, easy to press, easy to function buttons. And I don't want to lie, it's old school, yes, but it does have some new school text to it. But I'm cool with it because I like the way this is. We have cup holders here, if you have your bottles, your drink, your water when you're out in the bush, you can even place your phone here when you're driving. And then they have the manual lever. Me and the levers. Oh my god, I am in love. And then we come down here to the storage, the center console storage. It's not that deep, but like I said, you have so much space in this car. You have places to put your things. It is purposeful, and you'll see why in the video. So let's move on to the back side so you can see. And here in the back, we have a lot of space. You have a lot of space, a lot of knee room, headroom. I'm quite tall, by the way. And then when you want to move these seats back and forth, it's a manual lever. You just pull it up and just move your seats. You have the fixed points for the car seats. When you have a child, the car seats are necessary. Everybody has their own seat belts, as you can see. The headrest is also adjustable fully. And then we move down. Like I said, these are the same type of seats you get in the front and in the back, so they're also quite comfortable. I was in here for quite some time as a passenger, and I didn't complain from my bottom, but I like it. I really like it. And then I think my only issue in here really is the door bins. They are there, but they're like so little. And then now the issue comes here when the seat is so wide and it almost touches the door. You can't necessarily place anything in the door bins. And then so I think that's literally it. But when you're a passenger back here, you can't unlock and lock your own doors. That's also a bit unfortunate. It has to be unlocked by the driver. And you also have your fixed points here, your charging points. You can use the USB-C also. You have it down there, and then you have your aircon here, manually moved. You can switch it on and off for your liking, and you also have the hand points, whatever they're called. They're also manual, and I really like that. I like this car a lot. Let's go check out the boot. And onto the back, you have the one noticeable thing here, which is the spare wheel. Even the old Defender had the spare wheel, but there's a reason why this one's much better. But more onto that a bit later. Then when you want to open this, you can just press the button, pull it open. It's a split tailgate. This one's way better. Why? Because when you're in a confined space, you can actually open this part, and when you just want to throw in your groceries, your plastics, or whatever you have that's quite small without having to open the whole thing, the split tailgate comes to you. And then when you want to open this, you just pull this lever in, pull it up, and then you open, which then gives you the whole tailgate open. So then now you have room in the boot here. With the old Land Rover Defender, the wheel was so heavy that sometimes it would destroy the hinges of the vehicle. So with this one, they have made some fixing points like here and here that clamp into the holes over here in the car, which also help and assist the hinges so that the weight of the spare wheel isn't too much on the door when you're running off-road. You're going on gravels at high speeds, on tough terrain. It doesn't fall off. You understand? So in here you have quite a lot of space. I can literally sit back here. If you want more space than that, you can just drop these with the manual levers, push it forward, and it slips flat. Maybe you got stuck somewhere or you went camping and the lions are just out your door, you can just make this sleep down and put your blanket, lay down. It also depends on how tall you are, because yes, I am tall, but I will fit in here. So the space is quite a lot. In here they have the fixed points. You can tie down your things. If you're going off-road in your camping equipment, you can tie them down here. They have fixed points over here which can be used. They also have power outlets in here, and I'm really impressed by this because when you buy an off-roading car, you want something that has a lot of space, and this gives you that. The only issue is that yes, they don't have the load cover. So, but I mean, that's the least to worry about. So we have the 12 volts, 10 amps power outlet here, so you can charge your things. You can connect your camping equipment here when you're out in the bush, whatever you want. And look at this, they have a door handle, as if they're gonna put a person in here to open the door for themselves. But okay. Ooh, it stayed still.
Let's turn a little bit towards me. No brakes whatsoever. Okay, stop here. Let's reverse back up. So it's a neutral. So when it's a neutral, also button, press the button and forward all the way. There we are. So just nice and slow on the accelerator. Slowly, don't over accelerate, keep going, 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 and stop.
Wow, that is amazing.
Okay, so gently on the foot, now release the foot brake completely, and there the vehicle slows itself. Again, rear wheel is gonna drop in.
Ooh.
Ah, just look how easy that is.
Then to the right.
And then to the left.
Wow. This is a very powerful.
Oh. Whoa. Yeah. Okay.
We can get from above.
Okay. Nice and slow, you can go up as well.
Personal favorite, would you go for the diesel or the petrol? Diesel all day. I heard even the other ones were saying they would rather have the diesel.
The petrol is phenomenal. I mean,
Yeah.
it's fuel consumption is obviously a little bit heavier, not that much, but what I like about a diesel, it's got that slower, low down crawling ability to compare to petrol, because a diesel's torque curve starts at lower RPM compared to petrol, which is on all vehicles the case. I just like the sound of a diesel.
Yeah, true, right?
It sounds a bit more. Although that petrol has got a very nice growl to it. But yeah, it's just personal preference. But South Africa mainly, in Africa mainly people will buy the diesel in case.
Yeah. Because also economy, you know?
Yeah, of course, that's important. Yeah.
Now you know there are so many bumps on the road, I can barely feel them. The suspension is very good, and this chair, like the seats are very comfortable.
Slowly through the gate.
Barely felt that hump. The engine
B58 engines, a petrol and a diesel. We go to the right here. I mean, they've been award-winning engines for a couple of years internationally.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's been tried and tested and proven.
Yeah.
Firstly, the software going with that has been tried and tested and proven. And the gearbox that's linked with that engine.
Yeah.
So to build a completely new engine, it almost seems unnecessary because the focus is to get the vehicle right. Yeah, okay, the engine is part of the using that possibility.
Okay.
Okay, slowly. Nice and slow. There we are. Then a little bit towards me. Let's go a little bit up this embankment here. There you are. Nice.
Wow, this is amazing. This is thick sand we're going over.
It's thick sand. You struggle to walk in it.
Exactly what I'm thinking. Wow.
Papa, give me some more.
We're moving at 6 kilometers per hour.
Yeah, I need some more.
Just over 1,000 RPM.
Some more. Papa, give me some more. Some more. Yeah, I need some more. Some more. We taking over. Highway. Blessings all over. Highway. We taking over. Highway. Blessings all over. My way. We taking over. Highway. Blessings all over. Highway. We taking over. Theirs is the kingdom of heaven, he said. It's the sick that needs a doctor, hanging with sinners but maintaining the altar, living in the darkness, remaining sober, ambassadors of Christ putting the world in order. Yeah, acknowledging all the good things in Christ in me. He captured me, he taking my misery, I'm supposed to see fulfilled on the Calvary. Some more. Blessings all over, my way, we hearing ear and the seeing eye. The Lord has met them.